right there. We're on board here of Jet. So there's the tap in the rear bumper of Sheldon Creed. He moves up, tags Brennan Jones there.
And he got some damage.
A little bit.
But overall, he was able to sneak through. And I rewind to the springtime. He had damage in that race, too, and was in position to win it.
Yeah, and as you watch Jeb there, I think it would be easy to blame him for what happened, but he's trying to check up. The back of his car's light. He's trying to gather that. He didn't want to move up. It's almost, that's just where his car ends up. The 20 was on his outside. And as you said, Parker, it's just such a sketchy part of the track for all these guys.
Ryan Sieg had his car destroyed. Harrison Burton gets damaged. Jordan Anderson roughed up as well. We'll give you the car count on how many were involved and how bad the damage is in just a second. First, let's go 27, Team Radio and Jeb Burton's group.
00 got loose or something. 00 checked up. I ran in the back of him, and then that just all hell broke loose.
But as you listen to that, it happens fast, right? Inside the car, I thought that was exactly what we saw. He wasn't sure why hell broke loose, right? It all happens so quick inside of the car, and it just takes such a slight contact there of the 20 getting into the right rear quarter of Sheldon, and then once the wreck starts, it's just you're along for the ride when you're behind them.
And it's early to be pushing through there. That's something you do later in the race, later in stage 3, when you're really trying to make up time, make momentum happen through there as you're fighting maybe particularly for the end, towards the win. But at this point of the race, I think one of the reasons you saw Sheldon sort of check up there was he was trying to play it a little bit safe when he caught William Sawalich in front of him. But in doing so, it sort of set his destiny of getting run in the back by Jeb Burton.
Look at the updated standings here with these drivers that have received damage. Mayer came in +8. He's now shown -6. Sammy Smith is in the game, but he came in 24 points out. With everything that has transpired. He now showed 10 below the cut line. Brandon Jones was below the cut coming in. Same for Sheldon Creed. They've lost more ground. And Carson Quapple, 22 out when the day began, +6, and he's running in a pretty good spot here today. The big one happens in stage 1 at Talladega. Playoff drivers involved. 10 cars damaged in this crash that brings out the caution. We got inside of 10 laps to go. Stage 1. You're watching the Xfinity Series on.
Force you into the wreck. If you're riding towards the back of it, it gives you a little bit more time. Well, your reaction is to get on the brakes hard immediately and get slowed down, but there's been so many wrecks happen because the car in front gets slowed down and the one behind doesn't know it's there and gets run over.
We referenced that we're under the red flag. Part of that is cleaning up all the debris from this big incident, but they also had to do some repair, as you can see here, to the safer barrier. The AMR safety team is on it. We're back to Talladega in a moment.
Ever wonder how not to avoid? It's just so hard to do. We've referenced Jeb Burton. You see Daniel Dye in that red and yellow number 10 sneak through. A few of those guys, they get a little bit lucky. Look at Sammy Smith right there sneaking through.
Right, with this such a treacherous part of the racetrack. The cars are so light to that travel, and the taxi rear bumper are going to upset the car in front. That's what happened to Sheldon Creed and Jeb Burton, who went up the racetrack a little bit and got into Brandon Jones and caused all this. It's what we see often at Talladega. You put a pack of cars 3 abreast, you can have accidents like this.
Tough break for the Ford family of drivers. Harrison Burton got damaged. Creed done for the day. Sam Mayer had a wounded race car. Ryan Sieg also done for the afternoon, down to Kim.
Yeah, and Ryan Sieg out of the care center, and we just watched that replay, and you were tensed up and kind of holding your breath watching it again. So what can you tell us from the seat of your car on what happened?
Yeah, I just saw the 20 sideways, and then I was just along for the ride and just thought I was through it, and then the 00 just came right up in front of me, which I didn't even have time to brace, so it's like those are always a little harder when you don't know nothing's coming, but it looks like some of them guys were pushing a little heavy through the travel where the cars are already light. They've been pretty free all day, and then just a little heavy on the pushing at lap 13.
Were you surprised to see such a big wreck so early?
Of course. It's lap 13. But no, in all, we had a fast Syabs Ford. We were making our way to the front like we needed to be and tried to stay out of the wrecks, but sums up our 25 season, just wrong place, wrong time. But just hats off to everybody that worked so hard with Haas and Syabs and Ford. Just sucks to end so early.
Got a agree with Ryan there. It's been a tough season for them. It seems like anything that could go wrong has gone wrong at times for that race team. But I agree with him on the fact that, lap 13, you're not expecting a lot of pushing through the tribal. It's just too dangerous. The cars are too on edge. It's something you see late in stage 3 or the end of a stage in terms of going for the points at that point in time, because the cars are just so hard to push through there. It's a massive risk that you take through there. And I think what caused a lot of this was Sheldon Creed playing it a little bit safe, trying not to get in the back bumper of Sawalich, and Jeb just didn't react quick enough to the 00 checking up.
We continue under red with that and have an opportunity to go over to the CW garage and say good afternoon to Carla Metz.
Yeah, holding things down here in the CW garage, Adam. A lot happening in this race so far, but a lot happening in the sport earlier this week. Some big headlines to get to in the series this week. One immediately impacting Viking Motorsports, who announced this week that Connor Mosack will drive the number 99 for the remaining 3 races of the season, replacing Matt DiBenedetto. And then an even bigger announcement, right? Justin Allgaier's crew chief, Jim Pullman, going to finish out the season with the number 7 before moving to RCR to become Kyle Busch's crew chief in the Cup Series. That's going to happen next season. Allgaier told me this week, he said, yes, of course, I was sad when we sat down to talk about it, but I told him, you'd be crazy not to take this. He said, I'm just happy to have been a part of his story, to showcase his abilities. He's worked so hard his whole career for this opportunity. And he added, Adam, I'd love nothing more than to end this time, his time at JRM, with another championship. So these next couple of weeks mean even more for that 17.
Yeah, Pullman told me this week, Carla, that he's looking forward to working with a couple of Hall of Famers next year at NASCAR's top level. But I just think of the residual impact in 2026 of all these changes at Junior Motorsports. 25 has been magnificent, but that organization is going to look totally different next season.
Definitely will, and I think for Jim Pullman, this is something he always wanted to do, was to race on Sundays and go have that opportunity. And it's a shame for Justin Allgaier, of course, with all they've done together. I feel like Justin really handpicked him and wanted him to be the crew chief of this 7 car. It led to finally getting that championship. That's going to be tough to replace, and a big risk for Pullman from some people, I think, in terms of going there for to work with Kyle Busch, trying to get him back to victory lane. I'm of the opinion